miracles of Saint Spiridon and some first-hand experiences by me and my family. And for those who don't know, he was one of the first saints of Christendom. Saint Spiridon, Bishop of Trimithundos. He lived between 270 and 348 AD, honored in both the Eastern and Western Christian traditions. He was born in Cyprus, and he worked as a shepherd and was known for his great piety. He married and had one daughter, Irene, and upon the death of his wife, he entered a monastery and their daughter a convent. Spiridon eventually became the bishop of today Trimitusa, the district of Larnaca in Cyprus. He took part in the First Ecumenical Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, where he was instrumental in countering the theological arguments of the heretical Arius and Arius' followers. He reportedly converted a pagan philosopher to Christianity by using potsherd to illustrate how one single entity, a piece of pottery, could be composed of three unique entities: fire, water, and clay. Now, I commissioned this is one of the First Ecumenical Council's miracle of Saint Spiridon. He's wearing a little thatched hat, as you can see. You have the flame going up from his hand, the water going down, and he's holding the soil. He turned the brick into the three elements of fire, water, and soil. I had a friend of mine, I commissioned her to make the icon that I have in my house. He's holding a brick. The water is white and blue flowing down, and the flame is going up. And these are some other icons I commissioned her to do for us. On the upper right hand is Saint Thaddeus, Judas Thaddeus, and below Saint Spiridon is Saint Athanasius. Below Saint Judas Thaddeus is Saint James, the first bishop of Jerusalem. And then you have on the far left the root of Jesse. That's our Holy Mother, the Virgin Mary, holding the babe Jesus Christ. And you have flanked by Saint David on the far upper left, Saint Solomon on the upper right, Saint Isaiah bottom left, and Saint Daniel, the prophet, bottom right. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. I have special reverence for Saint Spiridon because of the great miracle he gave my family when I was a very little girl in Cyprus, and I'll tell you about that, and also what he gave to us. But reportedly, he converted the pagan to Christianity concerning the miracle of the brick, a metaphor for the Christian doctrine of the Holy Trinity. And as soon as Spiridon finished speaking, the shard is said to have miraculously burst into a flame, water dripping to the ground, and only dust remaining in his hand. Other accounts of this event say it was a brick he held in his hand. After the council, Saint Spiridon returned to his diocese in Cyprus. He later fell into disfavor during the persecutions of the Emperor Maximus, but died peacefully at old age. He was popular in Byzantine literature. A poem now lost was dedicated to him and his pupil Triphylius. It inspired 2 7th century vitae, the one by Theodore of Paphos and another by Leontius of Neapolis. Now his relics are in Corfu. When Arabs took Cyprus, Spiridon's body was disinterred, taken to Constantinople. The relics were found to be incorrupt. That's a sign of saintlyhood, of sanctity, and contained a spring of basil, the royal plant, both of which were taken as a sign of divine confirmation of his sanctity. And when in 1453 Constantinople fell to the Ottomans, Spiridon's holy relics were removed again, this time to the island of Corfu, by a Corphite monk called Kalocheretis, where they remain to this day. And we know that bishops are not, they're basically in their tomb. Well, it's not a tomb, it's like a standing up coffin, and he's sitting on a throne. That's how bishops are put in their coffin. standing up. So I have gone to Corfu and on a pilgrimage to see and pray to Saint Spiridon there, and that's how he is, incorrupt, sitting on his throne. Saint Spiridon is the patron saint of potters, and there are many miracles that contributed to him concerning putting end to plagues in Corfu. But I want to tell you about what happened to my family when we lived in Cyprus. This was around 1957, 58. My father would come home very late at night because he was an architect, and he would be going to the area of Cyprus where they were building officers' quarters, and it was quite far from our home in Nicosia. So one night he didn't come home. He came home very late. And what happened is, of course, that was before television, and people would only hear news on the radio. And my mother was, it was December 12th. It was his feast day. And exactly that day, December 12th, he was coming back. And she heard on the news that there was a total loss accident with a car with license plate so-and-so. And that was our car, our license plate, total loss. And she didn't hear about the drivers. My father was driving with one of his colleagues, another engineer architect. And she was, of course, shocked and astonished, frightened, and thinking, where's my husband? What happened to my husband? The news is saying the car is a total loss. And he walked in the house a little bit later with a few scratches on his legs, saying that it was a miracle. And he basically, the mountain roads there in Cyprus are very tight. And you have to, every time you turn a corner, you have to blow your car horn so that anybody coming on to you will hear you that you're there, because they're so tight. So at one of those corners, one of those turns, the car lost control and fell down the cliff into a field with vineyards. And you know those vineyards, when they're cut, they're like stocky, very, very tough wood. And the car started tumbling. And at the first tumble, after the first tumble, my father's door sprung open and he flung out. And he didn't land on one of these vine stumps. He landed on the ground. And he saw the car kept tumbling and wondered what happened to his colleague. So he started, when the car stopped tumbling, it was, of course, a total loss. And he started calling for his friend, and his friend stood up with a few scratches on his legs as well. So that was the miracle. They should have, of course, lost their lives there, but they didn't. And that was attributed to Saint Spiridon. It was his feast day that this miracle took place. And we say that, if something happens, you should have suffered loss, and you didn't. You probably had a saint looking after you. I'm sure that all of you, if you look back carefully, you would have, of course, seen this in your lives too, or in your family members' lives. So that was one of my first-hand experiences of a very, very strong miracle that Saint Spiridon did to my family, besides some others. And we know that saints are always looking after us. It's just that we don't see them, but they're there. So this specific saint was married. He had a child called Irene. And after his wife died, he became a monk and then a priest and a bishop. This is, of course, something that goes on in the Christian Orthodox Church. Priests, even up to today, are allowed to be married and have families. Okay, so I'll leave a link below for you on Wikipedia, Saint Spiridon, if you want to read more. And may God's saints always look after us and protect us, and may he make living saints out of you as well. Let's remember, these were all normal people, and God never left us without saints in every generation. There's always saints in every generation. Even the greatest sinner can become a saint, as long as they have, of course, repentance. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. God bless you all. Thank you.